Dong. Dong. Let's just say the devil made me do it. And by devil, I mean Hobby Lobby's clearance section. Hey guys, so I tried and maybe, kinda, sorta, succeeded in making Glinda's bubble dress from the movie Wicked.
That's my line.
This project had so many twists and turns, and I documented each step. So let's start at the very beginning, the first trip to Hobby Lobby. Welcome to Hobby Lobby, where the real art is lying to yourself. I had an ego, a vision, a delusion, and just enough delusion to think I could pull this off. Yeah, easy. I watched a few other videos of people making the dress and I thought, simple enough. So I started gathering my materials. Oh, I'll definitely be able to find everything I need here. This is the perfect pink tulle. This sequin trim. Gorgeous. This Amazon corset and petticoat. Cutting corners never looked so good on you, girl. So listen. Before I even stepped into the store, I spent like 40 minutes on the Rit Dye website. I was studying those swatches like they were my SATs for Shiz University. And then, for some reason, oh my god. Queen, pick your head up, your crown's falling. The second I got to the dye aisle, I said, you know what? Throw all that research out the window. I'm gonna pick the one that says super pink. Yeah, because obviously if it says super in the name, it's the right choice, right? Right? All right. So I had all my starting materials and I went home to dye my pre-bought petticoat, corset, and these perfect, already embroidered chiffon juicy couture curtains. I was so excited about my pink stew. I'm so excited. So yeah, this is when disaster struck. As soon as I drained the water, I noticed it was purple. I thought this was super pink. I thought this was super pink. As I hung it out to dry, I compared the fabric I bought and tried to convince myself that everything would be okay. After realizing we needed a major comeback, I created my own Glinda. Because clearly Glinda was not invited to this party. I took a week off to brainstorm, research, do some actual math, and figure out exactly what needed to happen next for our monstrosity. Scared but excited, I finally shifted my focus to the bodice to see if I even had a fighting chance. I grabbed the leftover fabric I had from the curtain I dyed and sewed it onto the bodice to make it more cohesive with the skirt. Now here's the part where my sister and I spent hours beading. Yes, beading beads onto string and what I call string beads. Or these like bead chains. Sounds fancy, right? I made these bead chains for the embroidery on the corset. Now, I've never embroidered anything before, so logic was already missing. But I draw some swirls based off the original design on my corset anyway, because ambition is blind, and apparently so am I. Then I grabbed my beads and hot glued them on in a pattern that kinda worked. And just like that, the bodice was something. Not perfect, but at least it was Glinda approved. And it gave me enough confidence to get started on my skirt. I created this giant pattern out of construction paper. And you'd think by the amount of times I measured it, I'd remember, but nope, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure the radius was 16 inches, which means my diameter was 32 inches. But I'm also pretty sure that I eventually shrunk down the pattern to be 24 inches. Who knows? Math is hard. Anyway, I needed 10 of these circles. 10. Which meant which meant about 16 yards of fabric. And I got to work cutting out and hemming each one of these circles with an open flame. After that was done, I got to definitely the most tedious part, which was adding the sequin trim and a spiral all on my 10 circles. You can see that my trim does not go all the way around the circle and make it to the edge, and that is something that I'm still regretting. This step was just literally so annoying. Literally the most annoying out of all of them, and I can handle doing like tedious tasks. This was kind of next level. But of course, I persevered because giving up is
not in Glinda's vocabulary.
Okay, actually getting to this point took me by surprise. With just 2 days until the start of the con, I couldn't believe I was finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And honestly, started to feel a little proud of what I had created. I lazily draped my circles over the skirt just to see what they'd look like, then took them down and began the real fun. Folding each one into a little cone, that's what we'll call them, and strategically arranging them. Once I had that perfect layout, I pinned and hand sewed all 10 cones around my skirt. It was tedious, exhausting, and probably overcomplicated, but in that moment, it finally started to feel like the bubble dress I had dreamed of, or at least like a pink, purple, slightly chaotic version of it. As I was putting the finishing touches on the top and bottom of this, I was literally getting emotional. I couldn't believe that this dream I had to make this dress since I saw Ariana Grande wearing it in Wicked the movie was actually happening, and I did it. And I self-funded, self-labored, self-loved this wonderfully pink, amazing creation. Because real talk, there were so many times I wanted to give up on this dress. The dye went wrong. The fabric hated me. And honestly, there were moments where I was just thinking like, well, this proves that I literally can't do anything right. Like, I always tried crafts. I always tried. Like, I just can't do anything right. I can't do it. But here I am. Glinda exists. And she's kind of incredible. This project reminded me that creating something you care about is never easy. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna cry over hot glue gun burns. You're going to question your life choices at 2 a.m. in your living room. And that's okay. Every mistake, every moment of chaos is part of the process. It's what makes the final creation completely, wonderfully yours. So if you have a dream, a project, or an idea that is so ridiculous it makes everyone roll their eyes, I say do it. Go for it. Make it messy, make it chaotic, make it yours. Because when you finally see it come together, that feeling is unforgettable, or should I say, unlimited. And of course, who is Glinda without her wand? Staff. Wand. Is it a wand? Is it a staff? I don't know. I stole this genius idea from Red Like the Color on TikTok, who made an amazing working bubble wand from an Amazon bubble wand, so I went ahead and copied that idea. I got all the items she used, spray painted it silver, stuck some icicle ornaments on it that I had to cut in half, which was so scary. This is so scary. And just like that, my bubble dreams were officially alive. It was magical, chaotic, and everything Glinda wanted. And here she is, Glinda. Or let's be honest, she is kind of giving Glinda. I am really proud of this. We got some really good photos. I wish I had some more videos to show you guys, but this was day 3 of the con, and let's just say I was feeling a little more like Glinda and not Glinda. I was extremely hungover and sick of people at this point in my con life. Honestly, I'm so proud to have this dress as part of my cosplay portfolio, and the fact that I get to wear it for multiple cons is just the cherry on top. Everyone was so sweet when I wore it. I got tons of compliments and met tons of other Glindas who were just as amazing as they looked. It was surreal, exhausting, hilarious, and unforgettable, and I wouldn't trade a single moment of this chaotic journey for for anything. This whole project literally took the entire series of Mr. Robot. I watched the entire series of Mr. Robot while I was working on this. Rewatched, I should say. When I first watched Mr. Robot, literally only like 2 seasons were out. So yeah, moral of the story, if you want to recreate Glinda's bubble dress, maybe do some math first to avoid some of that chaos. Double check your dye. Definitely double check your dye. But honestly, that's not even the point. The point is I accomplished something. I completed a craft, and I can do something right. I did something that I never thought I could. I turned a ridiculous and stressful and horrible Glinda situation before into something magical and something I'm really proud of. So go make your ridiculous dreams a reality. And if you fail halfway through, just remember, trust your process and keep going. Because one day you'll look at what you made and you'll think, what? I actually... Hang on a minute. I actually did that? The part that mattered the most wasn't perfection. It was that I did something that I never thought I'd be able to accomplish. So go create something and think, yep, I did that. Because that feeling is better than anything.